In Alaska, a Canadian company proposes a giant gold and copper mine.
The company's committed to responsible mineral development, and that's more than just a catchy phrase. We walk the talk.
But on the other side, there's growing opposition from native communities, sportsmen, and conservationists.
This is probably the worst place you could put a mine of this type.
I think it's going to do a lot of damage to us, and it really scares me.
The Pebble Mine would be on state land in this marshy valley near Lake Iliamna in southwestern Alaska. As in this computer simulation, it would be one of the world's largest open mining pits, some 2 miles long, 1.5 miles wide, and 1,700 feet deep, probably visible from space. It would be a multi-billion-dollar investment in this impoverished area, resulting in new roads, a new electric power grid, and thousands of jobs.
This thing could operate for 50, 60 years into the future. And I mean, that's a tremendous economic benefit to the region.
At stake is the future of a remote land where many families face hard lives with unemployment, where bears outnumber humans, in a landscape rich in caribou, moose, and other wildlife, especially salmon.
Bristol Bay in southwest Alaska is really the stronghold of the Pacific salmon in North America, really the last remaining stronghold of those species.
5 species of salmon, including the world's largest population of sockeye, spawn every year in the rivers draining into Bristol Bay. Salmon runs have sustained the commercial fishing industry in the bay for more than a century, and the lives of native peoples here for thousands of years.
I can't imagine my life without salmon. We dry it, we can it, we salt it. We can't survive without our fish.
And that's our greatest concern, is that in the future we never see our fish again.
A concern even the mining company admits is justified.
We're in the Nushagak-Mulchatna watershed, which is a major drainage basin going into Bristol Bay.
Critics warn acid mine drainage and other toxic chemicals, which could include cyanide, might contaminate the watershed across a vast area, poisoning fish and the entire ecosystem.
They're going to be using toxic chemicals, and the waste from the whole gold mining process is going to have to be stored forever in an area where it's not going to get out.
The company plans to dump the mine waste into a huge tailings pond measuring 14 square miles. And for many people in the area, the risk of toxic spills and seepage will always be a threat.
They'll never be able to keep the chemicals out of our pure water up there.
Basically wipe out the heart of sockeye salmon diversity if we do make a mistake.
Risk like that persuades many in the region's sport fishing industry to oppose the mine.
The sport fishing industry, the last study that was done showed that it brought in $75 million a year into the state. And if we take care of it, it can go on forever.
The company says it will convince state authorities its mining plan is safe and responsible.
The company is spending a lot of time, money, and effort to situate the project facilities to avoid critical and sensitive salmon habitat.
And state officials pledge they'll make sure of that before any permits are issued.
I think we can work to minimize those risks, but yet the decision ultimately will be, how big is that risk?
With so much at stake, there's enormous pressure on Alaska's government and the company to make sure Pebble Mine matches the highest standards of design and management. But with still more companies filing mining claims in the Bristol Bay watershed, there's also strong pressure to make sure Pebble Mine and all the others are never allowed here. For Assignment Earth on Yahoo News, I'm Gary Stryker.